a stand, gonna find a way to change the game. You tell me that I should stay, trust what you say, and that it's all okay. But everything starts to feel like a con, and I'm the pawn. Am I right or wrong?
Knock on, everybody.
Throughout my career as a professional archer and also my career as an avid bow hunter, I'm continually asked what it is that I'm most proud of. And by far, for me, my family outweighs any trophy or any animal I've ever taken. And this episode is going to be with my best friend and little buddy, who's not so little anymore, Little Dud. We had an awesome hunt this past season while he had a few days off between sports. This was an amazing hunt and certainly one that I'm never going to forget. My not-so-little dud has turned out to be the deadliest 15-year-old ninja I've ever met. And this is a hunt that I think every father and son will appreciate, because it was the first time that the two of us got to experience some pre-rut activity together, and we really got to see some of the first good bucks of the year make their appearance, chase does around, make scrapes, make rubs, and literally do everything possible to get your blood pumping. All we could do is hope that eventually this buck would move into this winter wheat plot and come close enough to give us a shot.
Check your bubble. A little bit far forward. You might hit him in that front artery.
You think I got him?
You might hit that front artery. We'll have to look for blood. And a little bit to the right. It's a nice buck.
Yeah. Right here was where my buck was. Right behind us is the tree we shot it from, a lone wolf. And looks like I made a good shot, first day of regular season, and looks like I clipped the front of the heart. And we heard a big crash, so let's see what we can find.
I think the crash was what we wanted.
Yeah.
Oh, there's your knock. I can see your knock. See it? You see it right over the hill? Right over the hill.
I'm not tall enough.
Go that way.
I
can
see it.
I can see it in the grass.
Yeah, I can see it.
Nocturnal.
Yeah. Broadhead gone.
Yeah, I don't see much penetration. There's 10 inches.
Yeah.
Where's your light?
Shit.
Hey everybody. My boy's grown up now, isn't he? We're gonna have to, it's gonna be really dark in here. I'm gonna have to go get a light, or hopefully try to drag this buck up in time to get a good video of him in the field, so bear with us. Knock On TV is brought to you by Hoyt. Get serious, get Hoyt. Under Armour, always lethal. Lancaster Archery Supply. Redneck Bail Blinds. Sherlock Hunting Sights. Nocturnal Lighted Knocks. Fuse Hunting Accessories. And Yamaha ATVs and side-by-sides, Real World Tough.
white nitro. First hunt with it. That's my biggest buck with a bow. Big time, buddy.
Smoked him. That heart beating on him. We just broke the new nitro in, baby. And son of a gun, we just come in here and cooked this cornbread.
Gonna put another buck in the truck with my new Hoyt Nitro.
Get serious. Get Hoyt.
The future of concealment technology has arrived. Ridge Reaper Camo. Under Armour has spent the last few years developing this pinnacle camouflage system because concealment is, and always will be, a necessity in the field. Able to work at a variety of ranges and in multiple environments, the pattern utilizes two key techniques. Coincidental disruption uses irregular shapes and angles to obscure the hunter's silhouette against a multitude of environments, giving prey little to no chance of identifying the hunter's shape or position. The second technique the pattern employs is a unique no-background color algorithm. By utilizing contextual color theory and a variety of gradation, the pattern creates a complex illusion of depth, as well as conforming to the wide range of tints, tones, and shades present in the field. These techniques create a one-of-a-kind pattern that changes the game in concealment technology. Go where you don't belong.
Well, we got Dustin to come with a light, and I'm thankful because this is the first time I've been able to be behind your deer and high-five you.
Yeah.
Awesome shot, dude. Furthest shot you've ever made, but you practice a ton. We were super confident, and the lesson to be learned from this hunt, I'm probably going to do a segment on it, was I could see over the top of your camera that your top limb was tilted, and whichever direction that's going to lay, your arrow's going to follow. And I think you hit a little bit to the right of where you would normally want to, but you got really lucky. Lots of blood. It's a definite indicator that he actually went in right in front of that arm and hit the front of the heart valve probably. And we had a great blood trail and he didn't go far. So this was your first pre-rut activity.
Yep.
He came out. He knew he shouldn't be out that early, but he wanted to sniff one doe, and then he went back in, and we just kept waiting and waiting, and then sure enough, right at last light, he came out, and you made a great shot. But I'm just the proudest dad in the world, dude.
Thanks, Dad.
I mean, you're so focused, awesome grades in school, you did great in cross country, and we literally had 5 days before you start swimming.
Oh.
And I said, dude, we got to get out tonight. So I went and bought you a regular season archery tag, actually 2 days ago, but we didn't get out that day. We came out tonight, and lucky you, 3 hours, and you got another awesome buck.
Big buck, 37 yards. Pretty pumped.
You better be really pumped.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Knock on, everybody, from Big Dud.
Knock on from Little Dud.
Stay with us.
Dead Center.
This week on Dead Center, I want to talk with you about the importance of your sight bubble, because just like what we saw with that hunt with Little Dud, not paying attention to your sight bubble can and will affect your accuracy. This is something that I learned from years of shooting professional field courses that involved steep up and downhill shots, which is comparable to what we have as bow hunters. You see, with a compound bow, when you're aiming your sight and your bubble is perfectly level and your limbs and your string are perfectly level as well, your arrow is going to take that exact straight path. But as you lean your bow one way or the other, or ultimately change your bubble in your level, then your arrow is going to do the same thing. If your top limb, when you're looking through your bow, is leaning to the right, then your arrow is going to go to the right as well. The further the shot, the more it's going to go to the right. The more you've leaned your limb, the more it's going to go to the right. Opposite's true if it's leaning to the left. So you have to make sure that your bow is perfectly straight up and down. Otherwise, even if you're holding your pin perfectly in the center, if your bubble isn't correct, then your arrow's not going to be correct either. What you want to do is you want to bring that sight level into your shot sequence to where you always check it for just a second before you make your shot. For me, I anchor, I look through my peep sight, I bring my pin onto my target, then I look directly down to my bubble, I level my sight, then I look back to my pin to make sure that my pin is still on the target as I activate my shot. If you do that, I can guarantee you, regardless of the angle, your arrows are all going to go in the middle. Closed captioning brought to you by Red Willow Outfitters, Alberta's premier hunting destination, offering quality hunts for over 20 years.
The Yamaha Viking, and introducing the all-new Viking 6. The hardest working, most off-road capable side-by-sides in America. Built for the hardest working people on Earth. You.
The new Block Vault is the most technologically advanced archery target ever built. The four-sided shooting lets you shoot it close, long, precise, and real. Shoot field tips, broadheads, and expandables. Block Vault's high-density open-layered core and polyfusion design stops all high-speed bows and smaller diameter arrows with friction, not force. Block Vault. Get locked in.
Field Recon.
A great way to know that you're going to make a perfect shot is by utilizing marking flags or ribbons to designate your yardages. This is awesome in situations like food plots or in areas where you know deer are going to be traveling by you fast and you're not going to have enough time to range, or in areas where your stand might be in a little bit more of an open tree where you really want to minimize your movement. A lot of times when I take Sharon or Harry, we're more focused on making sure the shot angle's right. We want to make sure that they're able to pull their bow back, and I'm more worried about running camera and communicating with them than them actually ranging the target. And in situations where we have these marking ribbons out, it's really awesome to know that you're going to make a perfect shot at the right yardage. I want to use this episode to show you just how having a stand in the right location can produce year after year. This is an amazing buck that I shot several years ago, one that I called the Gray Ghost, on the exact same food plot that Little Dud shot his. This food plot is a small plot that's staged between a thick bedding area and a food source almost 300 yards away. And the mature deer feel comfortable staging here before going to the main food source. And later on, you're going to see another awesome hunt from this exact same tree. Pick the right spot, and each year it's going to pay off for you.
That is the wide 9. Number 1 on my hit list, and I just smoked him. Sorry, it wasn't perfect. I tried getting the camera out all the way. Oh, yeah.
I hunt on the fringes. I don't go in there and penetrate their bedding area. And he just came rolling out and gave me the shot that I needed. Man, what an absolute mega buck. 20 plus inside. Just an awesome old white face, beautiful deer.
All right, here we are. It's the 16th of November. We got good fresh snow last night. Deer got in the stand here a little bit early. So I think the deer are going to be moving. And actually, Dudley sent me to this spot. You know, you see we got a good green field, and this is actually where Little Dud shot his. I'm hoping that we can catch a couple bucks that we got on camera here. And this is a good place where they like to stage up before they go over to the cornfields. So we'll see if we can get something done.
Literally minutes after they were in the stand, this awesome buck appeared out of the thick stuff.
Matt. Yards. Here we are, 50 yards, not even in. Not even in the stands. 5 minutes. I love rut. That's what I love about it. He just came out there 50 yards. I just put a smoking shot on him. Smoking shot right there, 50 yards. I love it. Yes! Alright, right here's where my deer was standing when I shot him. Happened in a hurry. One thing I was thankful for on this hunt, that Dudley's put these flags out here. He's marked as 20, 30, 40, and even 50. Just in the case of, like here during the rut, this buck was running through and it happened quick, and I was thankful for this hunt that Dudley had those flags in this plot like he did. It helped a bunch. Hate to say it, but he's a smart man. All right, we found him here. Didn't go too far, went about 60, 70 yards where I shot him. Put a perfect shot on him. The last time I was in these woods, I was helping Dudley get out the white ghost, the wide 9. Tell you what, this is what we hunt for. I mean, it's 15 degrees out, but we're out in that tree chasing these. I mean, I got so much passion for these things, and between farming and my job, and I mean, getting out, it's tough sometimes. It's been a tough year, but when you got this in your hand, it makes it all worthwhile. Kids will be happy to see it. They've been praying for me, so I can't wait to show them this one. Nock if you got it.
Be sure to visit knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of knock-on lifestyle clothing, as well as some awesome knock-on gear and accessories that I personally take to the field myself. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and I'll include a free signed photo. Also remember that all U.S. orders over 100 get free shipping. knockonarchery.com. For over 30 years, Lancaster Archery Supply has practiced the values of integrity, caring, and excellence to archery customers. Discover the largest online selection of bows, arrows, and archery accessories at lancasterarchery.com. Call on our archery textbirds for expert advice on all your archery needs. If you want the best service and gear, then visit Lancaster Archery Supply, America's largest archery-only supplier.
Lancaster Archery Supply.
He's the buck you've been after all season. You see him in the middle of the field every day. The problem is a stand isn't an option. What's a hunter to do? Get a redneck bail blind, that's what you do. The ultimate in stealth and concealment. The redneck bail blind features a sturdy metal frame, a hand-sewn water-resistant cover, and silent slide windows, all in a spacious blind that wildlife adapt to instantly, putting you in the heart of the action. The redneck bail blind. Problem solved. Register online to win your very own at redneckblinds.com.
Nocturnal lighted Nocks feature a linear string-activated switch for simple, fail-proof performance. Hidden deep within the Nock, the switch will not turn on or off until you need it to. The completely sealed weatherproof battery keeps the super bright LEDs lit for over 20 hours to make sure you always find your arrow and your game. Nocturnal lighted Nocks, switch on accuracy.
Nock and ready to rock.
Now that our bow is in the press properly, the next thing that I do is replace the strings and cables. A lot of the strings and cables on the bows from the factory are great sets of strings and cables. However, I prefer to personalize mine by picking a color that I want, as well as I really think it's important to always have a backup set with you in your bow case, and I utilize the factory string for that. There's been instances where I've been on a trip and I've accidentally cut a string or a cable, and if you're in the middle of nowhere and they're not able to find you a replacement string or cable at that local shop, then you're pretty much stuck. So by having your factory set as your backup, you're going to be in a perfect position if you ever do have some type of accident. Now the next thing that I do is I take a small piece of masking tape and I'll slide it behind the limb and stick it on the cam. Then I'll take a pen and I'll mark that cam using the inside of the limb as a reference. And what that does, if we do it on both sides, is as we replace these, it's going to make sure that we get this bow right back to factory specs. It's going to be important that these cams are in the same position, and it helps assure that your axle length and your brace height is where it needs to be. I prefer Winner's Choice strings and cables. I've used them for many years, and I like the fact that they don't have any issues with coming out of synchronization because of stretch, and my peep sight always stays in the same place from when the bow's at rest all the way to full draw. That's going to be critical things that you look for when buying a new set of strings and cables. Now we're going to do one at a time. We're going to start with the string, then we're going to move on to the cables. The main thing when you replace these is you want to make sure that you properly hook it on the post of the cam, and you want to actually follow it in the same path all the way around the cam. And before you let it up in the press, go ahead and double check using your finger to make sure that that string is properly in the track all the way around and completely hooked on the post. Then I like to hold a little tension on the string as I let that press out. That way we make sure that the strings and the cables are in the proper track. All right, now my marks are right where they need to be, which is an indication that this string was at the perfect length. What you need to do when you take your old ones off is simply hook your two loops together, because you don't ever want to remove twists out of your strings or cables if possible, because again, these are at the right lengths, and that's the same case for your brand new ones out of the package. Make sure that you don't let those twists off. So now that we've got the string where we need to be, the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and replace the cables. Okay, we're going to start out first with this power cable, or the split yoke cable. That's the one that has the Y here at the top. Now the one thing that you need to make sure you pay attention with on cables is that you recognize where those cables lie from one another, because there are two. Normally this top power cable is going to go to the inside, so make sure you recognize which roller that's in, or if it's on the far inside, because as we replace it, we want to make sure we keep it in that same path and we're not crossing it over to the backside of the other cable. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've replaced both sets of cables, and each time I've checked those marks on that piece of tape. If by chance the mark is slightly behind the limb, then you may need to just add one twist to your cable to get it into the correct position. As long as both of these are close for now, then we're going to be perfect, because in the next segment, I'm going to walk you through the minor adjustments that we need to make on these strings and cables to make sure that your cam position and your cam lean is perfect.